Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Sodo Kamen Rider Revice by 3. So this is the third Sodo set for Revice, so if we go ahead and open this up, we can see that there are 14 boxes in this assortment. And what we have is 2 boxes for the Mammoth Genome for Vice, 2 boxes for the Lion Genome for both Revi and Vice. Then we have 2 boxes for the Terra Genome for Revi. We have Live, we have Evil, and then we have some extra part boxes to make the crazy remix forms. So we'll go ahead and take a look at these boxes real quick. So here is the Mammoth Genome for Vice. You may remember that we previously got the Mammoth Genome for Revi in by 2. So now we can finally complete that one. Then here is the Lion Genome for Revi. Here is the Lion Genome for Vice. Then we have the Terra Genome for Revi. Vice isn't here because it is the giant flying waffle maker that of course is not available in this wave as it would have been too big. I believe it is in a later wave. And then we have Live. And Evil. And then we have these 2 extra piece boxes so we can make the Mammoth and Lion remix forms. So I'm going to go ahead, get these all put together and stickered up, and we'll take a closer look. So here are all 6 figures fully assembled and stickered up. We'll start over here on the left with Revi Lion Genome. And as you can see, each of the figures comes with one of these stands, which is pretty standard at this point. Not really much going on, but you get a nice little sticker here that says what the form is. Some spots for some extra hands. You can see it comes with a closed fist set of hands that can hold an item, as well as an open set of hands. And then you have this stand here that's on a ball joint, and then you also have a little hinge. You have some spots here where you can plug in some other accessories and things. So you also can connect them together. They have these holes on the bottom. So if you wanted to peg one into the top of this one, you could do so. They also have these little clips so you can kind of honeycomb them together, which is kind of cool. So that's it for the stands. But here is Lion Genome. He looks really great. Right away you can see he comes with a version of the Oren Buster 50 in the blaster mode with a Vi stamp attached, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out of the hand temporarily so we can take a look at all the articulation. Now most of these figures have pretty much the same articulation, so I'm only going to roll through it one time. But you can see the head here, some really nice purple paint, and some nice metallic blue here. We just have these red stickers for the eyes, and then these little stickers here for the eyes of the lion. But that head is on a ball joint, so you can look up pretty far, look down pretty far, tilt side to side, certainly spin side to side, no problem. You have the butterfly joint here, which is kind of just achieved by having this channel here, and then the arm peg can kind of slide back and forth in that area. You have a hinge here for the shoulder pad. You have, of course, a rotation because it's really just that peg moving around in that space. You do have a hinge out to the side. You have a bicep swivel, I would say over 90 degrees, maybe slightly over 90 degrees there in the elbow. And you can bend it back a little bit, but you can't go all the way back like the older figures could. You do have kind of a ball joint here in the wrist. You can see there, if you kind of push it all the way in, it doesn't do as much, but if you kind of pull it out just a little bit, you can get a nice range of motion there in the wrist. You do have a waist swivel because of course you can just pop this off, and then you can see the stickers there for the driver. You have the Lion Vi stamp, and then you have the screen here on this side. You have stickers for the belt all the way around, and then you have a sticker here for the crotch area. You do have a swivel here at the thigh as well as a ball joint, but because of the way they make these now where this kind of thigh piece comes up to kind of fill in that space, which is nice because then you don't have a lot of empty space there, but you have to kind of pull it down a little bit if you want him to kick forward because you need to get the clearance. So you kind of have to pull the leg piece down, you can see that if you pull it all the way, it will just pop all the way off if you want, but you have to just get some clearance so that you can kick forward. You can kick out to the side really nicely, and then you can kind of push that back up if you want to fill in that space. But I would say a little over 90 degrees there in the knee, as well as a ball joint in the ankle. Now the legs are almost all painted. You have one little sticker that goes here on the thigh, and then unfortunately for this guy, his feet are completely wrapped in stickers. You can see I botched it a little bit, but you know, it looks good. I think the purple looks nice. I just kind of wish they could have molded this piece out of purple, but I get it. You know, most of this guy is pink, so anytime you have purple, it's either paint or stickers. But yeah, overall, I think he looks pretty good. Pop the blaster back into his hand. It's just a simple peg. And then I have one of the open hands, so it looks like he's holding it there. But yeah, all in all, he looks really good. Now, we did get a bonus effect piece box, or whatever you want to call it, so that we can do the lion genome. I'll do that after I go through all the figures. We also got one for the mammoth genome, and we'll take a look at that as well. So speaking of, here is Vice in mammoth form. Now, if you remember, we got Revice in mammoth form in buy 2, so you kind of have to grab him from the last wave if you want to make the remix form. And you can probably tell right away we also get one of these little storage containers. I love these. I absolutely love these. I wish we would get more of them because they only usually give you like one per wave. It's weird that it's molded out of blue, which doesn't match the rest of the stand, but I'm assuming that's just because of what other, you know, things they were making in the sprue at the time. But it's really nice because you just peg this on, so I'll just go ahead and take this off of here, and it's just one peg that pegs into the bottom of the stand, and you can see I've got like everything in here. So there are a bunch of pieces that are needed to do the remixes, so you can kind of store them all in here, with the exception of a couple of massive pieces, which you'll see later on. But for the most part, all of the remix pieces can kind of fit in here, which is nice because otherwise it could easily get lost, you know, get put in different places. But we do get a couple of other random things in these boxes that I wanted to show off. You get an open set of hands for demons, which for whatever reason weren't included with him, but they've gone ahead and given us those now. We have this hand that has a sticker on it, and I'm really not sure what this is from. If anyone in the comments remembers what this is from, please let me know, because I really don't remember when he had this random blue thumb, but this piece is included. We have a bunch of the pieces that we're going to need later on for the remix forms, and then we also get one of these helpful display pieces, so you can kind of peg this into the stand here, and then that way you can use it for figures or for the remix forms, whatever you need, but it's just kind of a nice little, you know, stand helper display piece, which is nice. So we get one of those in pink. And then all the rest of the pieces in here are really just pieces that we're going to need later on for the remixes, so I'll address those when we get to them. And I'm just going to load everything back in here. And then I'm just going to put this off to the side for now, and we'll come back to that. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Vice for the mammoth form. You can see he comes with the hammer, which looks pretty good. Just a couple of stickers on here, but I think it came out really nice. He's got these really massive plates here on the side for the armor. You can see the helmet here. He's got the Deno eyes because this is a form for Deno. Well, it's a, you know, referencing Deno in the form, but he's also got the mammoth tusks. This is fully painted, which is nice. The eyes, this is all one big sticker. And then these are all stickers here. Pretty much anything that's not silver on the head is a sticker. The two shoulder pads are stickers. The belt, a little bit of red. These are painted silver, so just the red part is a sticker. And the tail is fully painted as well. These pink things here are stickers. But again, pretty much the same articulation as the first figure we took a look at. And he's got both, you know, closed fist set of hands for holding weapons, but he does also come with an open set of hands as well. And then there's the sticker for Vice Mammoth Genome. But yeah, he looks good. I like him a lot. I think they did a nice job with this. I will go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. He does have, of course, limited ball joint there in the tail as well. So we will put him to the back here. Let me straighten that out. So next up we have Vice Lion Genome, of course, to go with Revice Lion Genome. And you can see here he's got the open set of hands as well. I like this one a lot. I just think this looks really cool. They did a really nice job. This form is a reference to Kuga, which isn't like 100% felt. You can see it a little bit here in the helmet. But I just overall, like, I like the color scheme. I think these pieces down here look really cool for the shin guards. Now, the nice thing is this piece comes painted in gold, and you just have to put this one gray sticker on. So I think that really came out nice. He also has shoes that I had to wrap in a sticker, but for whatever reason, I thought these came out much nicer. I think maybe just because these feet were a little bit flatter, so it was a little bit easier surface to apply the sticker to. But you can see that that's supposed to kind of transform into the head of the lion in the remix form. Obviously, we're not going to use these pieces, but that's kind of meant to simulate where they would go. He's got these pieces here, so these are actually painted. The shoulder pads are painted. And then you have this ball joint that sticks out the back, and then you have a sticker on each side for this. And then you plug that into the ball joint on the shoulder there. And then you've got these kind of fake folded up lion legs. And we're going to get different pieces for the remix form, but they kind of put these on here just to simulate, again, where they kind of store in the normal mode. And then he comes with the O-Run Buster 50 in Axe mode with a Vice stamp attached, which looks pretty good. And this is all painted right here. All of this is painted. So really the stickers for this are the head. Definitely a lot of stickers here for the face and then the helmet. And then, of course, on both sides of these pieces and the belt. And then the feet, and then these gray pieces on the shin. But yeah, he looks good. I like this form a lot. I really do. I think it came out very nice. So we will put him back on. And then we get Revice and Terraform. Now, we don't have Vice and Terraform in this wave because it's a massive vehicle. So they couldn't fit it in this wave. I'm assuming it's later on down the line. I'm pretty sure we did get it eventually. He does, again, open set of hands and a closed fist hand that can hold an item. Now, the cool thing is, in the box for this figure, you actually don't get the closed version of the chest. You get, whoops, as I drop it, the open version of the chest. The closed version comes in one of the extra part boxes, but I just kind of like it better, so I went ahead and put it on here. But you do have the option of the open chest, so that's nice. They're both in the same set, and you can go ahead and pick whichever one you want. All you have to do is pop this off. It pops off very easily, just one peg there in the center. And then if you want to go ahead and pop the open version on there. So, very cool. I was really happy that they included both of those. Now, if you're buying this wave piecemeal and you want both of these, you're going to have to buy 3 boxes to get the full form, plus the box that comes with this. So, unfortunately, they couldn't put it, in the same self-contained, but it is available, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, the head looks pretty good. Obviously, big stickers here for the eyes. This strip of pink here with the Terra eye is a sticker. You have one pink sticker here for the chest plate. I think you have stickers on the inside of the forearms here, but all of this is painted. You do have this pink sticker here on the painted purple shoulder pads. And then here is the driver. We have the Terra Vice stamp and the screen. I thought those both came out pretty good. And then you have the one sticker. The legs for almost all the Revice figures are exactly the same. It's usually just this one sticker here on the thigh. Sometimes the feet are different, as we saw over here on Lion. But for the most part, most of Revice forms have from the waist down pretty much the same. And then he has the version of the hammer and the O-Run Buster 50 combined together, which I think came out really well. That really looks good. Really nice job there. You definitely have a bunch of stickers, but they all applied pretty nicely. And it looks really nice all together like that. So I think that came out great. So that's it for Revice and Vice forms for this wave. Now we move on to Live and Evil. And I will say that this is one big sticker for Live's helmet here. This copper color. And it was a little difficult, but I think it came out pretty good. But it was a little difficult to apply. And then I think you have one for this inside mouth section here as well. And then I will say these gold pieces on the shoulders were also just a little wonky the way they were. Because it's all one solid piece. So you kind of have to like put this down. Then fold these sections underneath. And you just kind of have to make sure you do it in the right order so it all works out. But I think they came out okay. You also have these bicep stickers here. Which were not ridiculously difficult, but fairly difficult. You also have this underneath the shoulder pad, which was another one because you're going around a curve, so you kind of have to apply one section and then fold the other section over top of it. But all of the gold here on the chest is painted, and I think that looks really sharp. The silver here is stickers. This abdomen section is stickers. The gold stickers. Here's his driver, which is painted green. You just have the one sticker there. And then all the gold trim is stickers, as well as the knee pads, the silver section on the shin, and then this little bit on the foot. And then, of course, here is his driver / gun with the bat Revice stamp. And I think that came out pretty good. He looks good. I think they did a nice job with this. He's got this piece here that can still peg into the stand, even though it needs to hold the skirt pieces. And then again, he comes with an open set of hands and a closed fist weapon holding set of hands. And then this is kind of on a separate hinge here. But yeah, all in all, I think Live came out pretty good. I think they did a nice job with that. But I gotta say, out of the two, I think Evil is my favorite of the two suits. I don't know why, I just really like the look of this guy. I think they did a really cool job designing this. So, really nice paint here on the head. The eyes are just 2 stickers, one for each eye, and then you have, again, the mouth section. And then he's got this big popped collar that has a silver sticker that goes all the way around. The shoulder pads look great. They have 1 sticker each. You do, once again, have this sticker here on the bicep section, and then you have a sticker on the kind of forearm section. Now, it's kind of funny. They painted this kind of, it's like the forearm that goes into the bicep. The chain here, the zipper, is painted, and then here they could only paint half of it, and the other one is a sticker, so that's a weird choice. I don't know why you wouldn't just paint them all, but this one's painted. These are stickers, but I think that came out great. Again, the driver, painted green, sticker there. Abdomen has stickers. The thighs are all painted. That looks really, really sharp. I like that a lot. And then you have these pieces here, kind of the upper knee section, knee pads, whatever you want to call those. Those are stickers. The actual knee pad is stickers. And again, basically from the knee down is the same on Live and Evil. But I also really like his sword. I think that came out great. That's one big sticker, but it applied very nicely. You got the bat Revice stamp there. So they both came out great. But I just think out of the two, I really do like the Evil suit. And I just wish that got some more time. It didn't really show up on the show all that much. But again, they all have the same articulation. As you can see, they have that piece for the thigh that kind of covers the empty space. But that means you have to kind of pull the leg down a little bit to get some movement there. But yeah, they came out great. Everything in this set really came out pretty great, I have to say. All 6 of these figures really do look good. Stickers weren't like terrible. It did take a decent amount of time to apply them all, but I like to just kind of really take my time to make sure I can get them on there straight and flat and keep them sticking on there for as long as possible. But yeah, the stickers really do, like there were a couple times where I messed up and I had to kind of pull the sticker off, and it was difficult because once they attach, they really do stick. They stick really well, so I do applaud them for that because the stickers really do want to adhere to the plastic. But yeah, I think all these forms look really good. Like I said, we do have 2 remixes. Oh, actually, before we do that, I wanted to show off there were some other pieces that we did get in these extra part boxes. So I'm going to bring in Rex Genome here because this is where I decided to use them. But they have these 2 feet pieces. It's actually like the soles of his shoes. So you can see this piece right here plugs into the bottom of the foot, and then you have a sticker here for the 5, so that when he does the kick with Vice, so we'll bring in Rex Vice here, he came with ones that have the big 0. So when they kick together, they can do the 50, since this is the 50th anniversary. So I think that's kind of cool. They're just little pieces. Now, you can put these on any figures you want. I just decided to dig out the Rex Genome and put them on the bottom of their feet, because I feel like that's what get used the most in the show. But you can go ahead and attach these to any of these figures. Now, ones with specialized feet, like this Vice, it might not look as good because he's got kind of giant feet. I still think they could peg in there, but it just might not look as good. So I decided to go back and put them on these guys. But it does kind of give them like lifts in their shoes. So they do kind of stand a little weird. They still stand fine. But it is kind of funny. I didn't expect them to be that thick. I thought they would be much thinner and just kind of conform to the whole shoe. But they kind of raise up and then contour in a little bit. So, but I just wanted to point that out because I thought they were kind of neat pieces. Oh, that's the wrong stand. And I just thought it was neat that they included them, so you can go ahead. Now, obviously, it's just one set for each Revi and Vice, so it's not like you can add them to the bottom of all your figures. You kind of just have to pick your favorite and add them to the bottom. But it's a neat little piece that they threw in there. I don't think there are any other special pieces that they gave us. Everything else is for the remix form. So we'll go ahead and get into that now. So first we'll take a look at the Mammoth remix. Again, you do have Revice Mammoth Genome from the previous set. So you'd have to bring him in. He is not included in buy 3. So I just wanted to point that out. So we're going to go ahead. We are going to utilize his 2 weapons. We're going to take those off. And then we are going to split them apart. And then there's really not too much you have to do to this guy. In fact, I would say there's really nothing you have to do. So just kind of sit him here off to the side. We're going to come around to Vice. We're going to pop his tail off. We got to take this backpack piece off, which can be a little easier said than done just because it's so easy to want to grab the chest plate off. If it makes it easier, you can just take that off temporarily. And then pop this off. Sometimes I even have to take the arms off just because it's hard to get in here, because the scarf piece does not come off. It's just this piece here. So once we have that off, we can put that off to the side. Now they do include this new giant mammoth piece. You can see that there are a ton of stickers on this. The gold is a sticker. These 2 gray pieces are a sticker. And then this whole section is a sticker. So got 5 stickers in total. But we're going to pop this on as our new back piece. And then I'll pop the chest back on. And the 2 arms. Although honestly, I think I'm going to wait because we have these 2 pieces here that we have to get put on here. And you put these underneath the fists. But I believe these point backwards. Let me just double check the instructions here. Yes, so you put them in like this. He holds them in his fist. And that piece points to the back. So we're going to take the other arm. Do the same thing with this piece. Pop this in around like that. And then I'm going to pop the arms back in like so. Now we come down to the legs. This section here is going to pop off. It's kind of this weird, I don't know how to describe it, but basically we have to take the feet off as well. So we'll just do that first because it'll make it easier. So pop the feet off, and then you have this little piece. It's just kind of like a cuff around the back. And I believe it's just supposed to simulate that this is going to be kind of like the front foot of the mammoth. And when he's in the normal mode, it kind of shifts up. But then for the remix, it kind of comes down and becomes the actual part of the foot. So we're not going to use these same pieces, but they do include 2 kind of like normal smooth pieces that we're going to plug in right there. And then you have these giant feet that we're going to replace the normal feet with. And you can see that that has kind of the same thing that was on the back. This was the piece that was kind of shifted up. And so now it's coming down and becoming the foot of the mammoth. And then you have this absolutely massive tail piece that you can see has a ton of stickers that we're going to peg in here as the new tail. And that's going to become the trunk of the mammoth. So really all you do is kind of bend this down, kind of have them bend at the knee a little bit, like so, kind of tilt this, and then put the arms out like this, and then you can kind of pose the trunk how you want. And then all you do, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to attach the tusks. Obviously, these are very important, so they're going to peg on, this one's going to peg on here, and then this one, you can see one has a peg and one has a peg hole, so you just have to plug that in accordingly. It's not really possible to mix them up. Then you're going to just have Revice kind of tilt ever so slightly forward like this and kind of bend the knees, and then this is going to peg into this section. So you're going to peg those into his 2 fists. So that's going to peg on like so, and then this one is going to peg on as well. And then you just kind of have him step forward. And that's kind of it. Now, this is supposed to kind of fill in the gap here. But you can still kind of plainly see their heads. And this section is very empty. I almost wish there was a piece just to kind of maybe connect like onto his belt or something. Just to fill this section in a little bit. I I don't know. Again, just not really successful. It really just looks like they're in a huddle for football, and he's got these blades sticking out the back. That's really all it looks like. I don't think it's that successful. I mean, I would say this section right here is not too bad, like the head with the tusks and the trunk. If you just look at this section, I feel like it kind of looks like a mammoth, but the rest of this is very clearly just two guys huddling together. I don't know. I just don't think it's that successful. All right, so next up we have the lion remix. We have a couple of small pieces here that we're going to be subbing out, but we have the massive lion head. So you can see that this connects together all as one piece. This is a separate piece, this is a separate piece, this is a separate piece, this thing here is a separate piece, and then these black sections are each a piece. So you kind of just, put them all together, put the stickers on, and you just assemble this absolutely massive lion head, which when it's not in the remix form, you just have to stash somewhere because yeah, it's absolutely ridiculously huge. So anyway, we'll come back to that in a moment. So we're going to start with Revice. All you have to do is pop off the head and then pop off the two hands, and then you're going to kind of tuck the hands in, bend at the elbow, and then you have this piece here that you're going to peg in to the two wrists. It almost kind of looks like he's handcuffed. So that will sit about there, and then you're going to kind of bring these out so that you can pop this up and kind of bend him at the knee like he's in a sitting position, and that's it for him for right now. So now we're going to come to Vice. We're going to pop these sections off of the shoulder pads. We're going to pop these sections off the back of the arms. Put all of this off to the side here. Then we're going to swivel this around. So you kind of have to get this. You can see how right now it's kind of a C, and then it's meant so that the scarf can hang down. You need to swivel that around so that it goes straight back like that. Now, if you have to pull the whole thing out and then plug it back in, you can, if you can swivel it without doing so, however you need to do it. And then we'll swivel this around as well. So this does pop out sometimes, but just pop that back in, and then you can kind of put that up like that. So we're going to come down here. We're going to pop off the fists. And then we have these new giant paw pieces that are going to peg in like so. And I think I have that backwards. I do have that backwards. You can kind of think of the way it would have been on the forearm, but really it's not going to work like that. So this goes like this. You want to peg these in like this. Although I guess they were, when they were on the arms, they were pegged in like this. So I guess that makes sense. You can kind of think of it just rotating down like that. So then you're going to kind of put these back like so, and the head just kind of hangs out there. Now, you popped these sections off because basically what happened is they were down like this, and you kind of need to rotate them like this. So they give you these little like ball joint pieces. And so you pop this on here, and basically what that does is instead of having the ball joint point forward, now it's painting, listen to me. Instead of pointing forward, now it's pointing to the side. And then you can attach this back, and then it will kind of cover this area, kind of like the pieces did for the Mammoth. So we're going to go ahead and pop this back on here. And sometimes they can be a little difficult, but they will pop on. There we go. And then we can pop this on like so. So you can kind of see the lion taking shape. We're going to come to the legs. We're going to pop the feet completely off. And then we have to remove these shin pieces. So pop the shin pieces off, which can be a little easier said than done. But come on. Come on. There we go. They give you these flat shin pieces to pop back in. So you can see here that now he's got just kind of plain shin pieces. And then we're going to bend his legs so that these are pointing straight up. And then what's going to happen is he's going to sit over here, and the two like ankle joints are going to peg into this piece that we put into his two hands. So you can see right there. So this is going to come around, and it's a little difficult to do this, but because it's just hard to grab onto, but pop the legs into that piece, and then you can kind of situate the legs and kind of bring this in and make sure these come down and fill in this space like this. And this thing always pops off on me. So just kind of do that. And then you guessed it, we're going to take the giant headpiece and it's going to peg right onto Revi's neck. And again, this can be a little difficult just because it's kind of hard to grab onto, but if you can get that on there, there you go. And then there is your lion remix. Now it looks kind of ridiculous because the lion head is so big, but it's also kind of one of the more successful ones because it kind of looks like what it's supposed to be. If you just have a giant plastic piece achieving most of the form for you, it's somewhat convincing. I mean, Revi's head is obviously completely hidden because you take it off. Most of his body's hidden. You know, you just have these legs here, which I admit, I wish they kind of had larger paw pieces here because that looks kind of sad. But these don't look too bad here in the back. I wish there was a way to cover Vice's head. But, I mean, it kind of looks like a lion. Like I said, it's one of the slightly more convincing. I still don't think any of these remix forms really work. But I can tell this one's supposed to be a lion. I think this is a really great set. I really like all of these forms. I think Evil and Live are kind of the highlights because they're obviously more unique than the others, but I really, really like all the forms in this. I think Lion for both Revi and Vice look phenomenal. Mammoth for Vice looks really good. I also really like Terra for Revi. I think that's a good form as well. So I also really appreciate all of the individual weapons that they've done. I mean, we've gotten the hammer, we've got the combined hammer and Ouran Buster 50. We've got both versions of the Ouran Buster 50 with Vice stamps attached, because we have gotten versions of that weapon before without Vice stamps. So I really like their commitment to giving you all the different kind of possible versions of these weapons. I think that's really cool that they include all of those. So great accessories, great forms. Like I said, some of the stickers were a little hard to apply. Some were pretty easy, so it's kind of a decent mix. So it's really not too bad stickering them. But when you're done, you really do have some great looking figures here. Real quick, I'll just say I still don't really think that the remix forms are that, you know, how should I put this? I really don't think they're that successful, I guess I'll say. But it's not really Sodo's fault. You know, they're doing what they look like on the show, so it's the show's designs that I don't really think work. And so Sodo's just reproducing them. I kind of just wish Sodo hadn't bothered with that. But then that remix line of 5-inch figures died so fast that I guess these are the only guys in town still doing them. So I guess they feel some kind of responsibility. But I'm pretty sure within the next couple waves of Sodo, we're going to finally be done with those. And so I don't really have to do any more of those because I don't really like them. Honestly, I do them once for the video, and then I just never look at those pieces again. But I don't need them. I have these forms here, which look great, and that's the reason I'm collecting these line for these really great forms, because these figures are all really, really nice. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.